The Wraith is a very good character in Dead by Daylight, and also very underrated one. The Wraith is well known for being a super fast, vigilant character who can get to places easily and trick survivors. But is he really as good as everyone says? Well, today we're going to put that to the test. Yup, this is episode 2 of Is the Killer Good or Not? Today's episode, The Wraith. Let's start off with the Wraith's ability. So the Wraith's ability is that he can use this magical bell that'll turn him invisible for a period of time. Well, actually, you can use this for as long as you like, but there's a limit to what you can do. So, for example, when you're going in cloaked mode, you cannot hit survivors. You have to uncloak to hit them. And while in cloaked mode, there is not a lot you can do other than move around and damage generators. But it may take a lot longer than using the cloak than getting off of it. But luckily, when you uncloak, you get a massive speed boost that'll help you catch up to survivors you just lost. But you are not completely invisible to the survivors, because when the survivors look at you, they can see an outline of your character, but not the whole thing. But there are a couple of add-ons that could prove useful to your ability. For example, Asylum Bell. This makes sure the survivors can't hear your bell when you uncloak and cloak. But overall, I think his ability is great in the game. It provides super useful for speed, and you can catch up to survivors very easily by using this on them. But enough about the Wraith's bell, because, you don't want to hear that the entire time. We are going to talk about his appearance. So this guy's appearance, I think I really like. So the way he looks super creepy when he's standing up like that, and his weapon I think is made out of the skull of one of his rivals before. I'm not entirely too sure, but it is so sick and it is pretty creepy. Although on the other video I made about ranked characters by scariness, I put him in a low spot. But don't mind that, because this character, he has a really good appearance, and I think it is so cool, especially that white mask he wears. I really like it, and I think his appearance is awesome. And one last thing, I think this guy has crazy hitboxes. Now for the perks. First, Bloodhound. Now this perk is really not that good. It makes you see a bunch of blood marks on the ground for 4 seconds longer than normal, which is really not that good because, you can just chase the guy regularly. Don't be so extra. Now to Shadowborn. This perk is probably the best of his perks, because when you get blinded by a flashlight by any means, you can gain a 10% haste for 10 seconds, and you stay in a flashlight blind for about 2 seconds. So if you think about it, that one is actually pretty good. Honestly though, I feel like you can just use your bell though, and it'd probably be just as fast. Next perk is the Predator. So this one, again, it's kind of bad. So what happens is scratch marks left by survivors while running will spawn considerably closer together. I don't think this is that good because it's kind of easy to track people by their scratch marks anyways, so I don't really think you need this one. Now for the Wraith's music. So I'm going to be playing his music in 3, 2, 1. So that sound was kind of weird and different. So I kind of like it as a sound. It kind of sounds like it would be a regular default music, because there's nothing special added to it that shows your character, So I think that one, it's meh. Now let's talk about his anti-loop ability. So this one, it's pretty self-explanatory. He is honestly great with loops because after he undoes his cloak, he is super fast and he can easily catch up to any survivor he needs to. It's just the hardest thing is actually being on the right side of the pallet or window because then they can just easily get away from you. So yeah, you have to make sure you're on the right side. But if you are, then this is going to be super easy to do an anti-loop. Now for its creativity. So the creativity, honestly, it's pretty good. I kind of like how creative this killer is, because the way he can like go invisible, and then immediately when he's done going invisible, he can just go super fast. I think that is pretty smart of behavior for doing that, and I really like how they did that, because he is a pretty like complex killer, but he is also very, very easy to like use, you know? But as the design for his like whole outfit and stuff, it's probably going to be a little lower than his like bell, because I think that it's just kind of boring, his outfit. Except for the mask. I kind of like the mask, it all being like silver and white like that. It's pretty cool, but there's not a lot of complex stuff about his outfit, so I wouldn't raise it too high. Now for his weapon complexity, so this one, if I would to rank it out of 10, it would be a 10. Wanna know why? Because his weapon is so unbelievably like cool, because it's his boss's skull. His boss, Mr. Azeroth or something. Yeah, whatever his name is, I think that's his name. But he literally, he killed his boss, and his weapon is literally his skull on like a stick or something. I'm not really sure what the rest of it is. But I think it is so unbelievably cool, and I love that his weapon is his boss's skull. Now for how fun the Wraith is. So I personally find a lot of fun playing this killer, because I think he's super good for anti-loops, and he's just such a fast and well-paced killer. And also there's a lot of stuff survivors can do to counter it, so I think it is kind of fun on both parts, you know? So I think I really like how fun he is, and I think he's super fun. Now for this guy's cosmetics. So some of his cosmetics are really good, and the others are just like really bad. Like some of these are awesome, but stuff like these two right here, for example, Shadow Walker, that's not very cool. And for another example, this one right here, Bad Omen, I, again, am not really too fond of it. But stuff like this, Sleeping Hollow, it's so cool. And Phantom of something, and the Golden Ox, like, I love half of this stuff. Some of it is also not really good. So, we have now come to a conclusion of, is this killer good or not? Can I get a drum roll, please? Yes! This killer is awesome. Yep. He's a great killer to start off with if you're just getting into the game. And he is a great killer to main, because I think he is super fun. But you should also try other killers, because he's definitely not the best in the game. But he's also definitely not the worst. So let me know if you want to see another video like this, because the next one's probably going to be on Hillbilly, because I'm going by like order of the characters. So yep. See you guys. Bye.